problem. There will not be a show happening here tonight.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick little video about the boxing in Swansea on Saturday night and what happened and what I can work out happened. I've had a few days now to think about it. I've spoke to quite a few different people. I spoke to guys from the border control. I spoke to trainers. I spoke to boxers. I've spoke to people within Black Flash Promotions. I'm not going to mention any names of people I spoke to, just out of respect for them. But what I can work out happened was ultimately the promoters booked a medical team, the same medical team that they've booked on previous occasions. You know, in a British boxing ring, professional boxing ring, the standards are very high, probably amongst the very highest standards in world boxing, probably, and that's a great thing to try and keep the boxers as safe as possible. You know, boxing's a dangerous sport. People have been seriously hurt in boxing rings. People have been sadly lost their lives in boxing rings. So, you know, safety is the most important thing. And they use the company that they've always previously used in some of their Welsh shows. And what I understand to have happened was that the medical team didn't send out the right equipment. That's the opinion I had of most people on the night. But I also spoke to someone yesterday who said, who would be in the know, and they said that they didn't send out enough qualified people as well. So I've heard two different versions of what the issue might have been, and it's probably maybe a combination of the both. So ultimately I've seen a lot of people blaming the British Boxing Board of Control for this, and I think that's totally unfair. It's not the board's job to book the medical teams. I mean, the board, it was a tough decision for the British Boxing Board of Control, the officials on the night, to make, because all the fans were there. The boxers were in the changing rooms getting ready. We were all there ringside. I was there with Angelo Dragoni, getting ready to do the commentary. We had the film crew there, TV crew there. So everything was ready. So, I mean, to give credit to the Board of Control officials, it took a lot of courage on their behalf to call the show off, because the easy thing for them to do would have been let the show go on, fingers crossed, and hope nobody gets seriously hurt. But that's why the British Boxing Board of Control, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're probably the best in the world. And they made the tough decision to cancel the show on the night with, like I said, with the fans there, with the boxers there ready, boxers warming up, ready to go. And they did it in the name of safety, which is a good thing. We've got to try and keep boxers and boxing as safe as possible. Absolutely devastating for the boxers involved who've been training for weeks and months. Devastating for the fans who paid their hard-earned money. Absolutely gutting for the promoters. I mean, I was speaking to the promoter after the show, and you could see he was absolutely devastated by what had happened. I mean, like I said, the promoters, they booked the same company they usually book for these events. And they just presumed that the medics were going to bring the correct equipment, but they didn't. So, just devastated all around, really. I mean, quite often in boxing, in pro boxing, things don't always go to plan, and there's always like small little hiccups, or there's probably issues. But this is the first time ever that, as far as I can remember, on a professional show that I've been involved in, that the show's actually been cancelled on the night. I know phone calls were made to try and get replacement medics, and I know a couple of promoters who were called, and I spoke to those as well, and they said they had the phone call, and they asked around. It was just too late notice, and I guess probably the weather probably didn't help as well. I mean, the conditions outside Swansea and along the motorway horrendous. The main bridge closed as well, so that probably made things even more difficult. But I just wanted to put this video out there just because I see a lot of people blaming the British Boxing Board of Control, whereas in this case they made the right decision, the tough decision, and it probably took courage on their behalf to make that decision, because ultimately safety is the most important thing. And I mean, again, people blame the promoters. I mean, I don't even think it's the promoters' fault. They just booked the same medics they always book, as far as I understand. And just the wrong medics and the wrong medical equipment turned up in the night. And that's ultimately what I think happened. And that's probably speaking to half a dozen people. And that includes, as I said, boxers, trainers, officials from the Board of Control, and also people actually involved in the promotion as well. yeah, just devastated for the fighters who've been training hard. You don't get paid money to train in boxing, so I'm not quite sure what the situation is regarding tickets. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure what the situation is regarding the boxers getting paid, or do they get paid? I don't know. Also, I'm not sure. Many people have sent me a few messages asking what's the situation with tickets. I don't know about that either. Sorry, that's an issue that the promoters will have to resolve in the coming days and weeks. Yeah, but I just put this video out there just to put a few people straight on what I think happened. I've had lots of messages of WhatsApps and messages on Facebook, etc., just asking what happened on the night. And that's it, yeah. Just the wrong medics were sent out, and the border control did their job, which is to try and keep boxing as safe as possible, and they were forced to call the show off.
There's been a technical problem. There will not be a show happening here tonight. You should all have either the silver band or the red band. Because either you paid tonight or you came by tickets which you bought from a boxer. Keep your bands. This event will be rescheduled, and you will be able to